Welcome to Layers of Living Water. What a privilege to get together today. I'm so glad that you tuned in to check out the program. Today I'm going to talk to you about be careful what you ask for. You see, in life, what we ask for sometimes makes a huge difference in what happens in life. So today we're going to talk about a king that was a very, very wealthy king. He had a golf course built. Once he was getting close to the completion of the golf course, he said, I'm going to invite some of my favorite friends, some celebrities, and who he deemed to be the very best golfer in the world. So he sent out the invitations, and as you can well imagine, like most of us, if you received an invitation from a king, I'm sure you would probably attend. All showed up, all got there. They were all excited as the new king wanted to share with them his new golf course. The king enjoyed playing golf, as some of you probably do. So they spent some time together. All were playing golf, having a great time. That evening of the last night, they all got together and had a dinner. And as you can imagine, the king put out the very best. Everybody was having a great time, and as it came to the end of the evening, the king began to go around and socialize with each of his guests. He talked to each of them for a few minutes and move on to the next. And the particular king came to who was the best golfer in the world, in his opinion. And he walked up to him, and as he began to speak to him, he said, "Thank you for coming. I'm so honored that you took time out of your schedule to come and be with me." Well, you could imagine the king is a very smart fellow. He wanted to get the golfer's opinion on the quality of his golf course. And of course, he also wanted to have the opportunity to learn from the best golfer in the world. Hey, that brings me to a key point. Each one of us in our life and what you do, if you want to get better at what you do, find someone who you think is the very best. Spend some time with them. Learn to do what they do. It doesn't matter whether they're a doctor, a nurse, whomever. It could be a tradesman. Whatever it is, if you want to get better at it, find the very best person that you feel is the best at that and spend some time with them. For you see, that is what this king had done. Spending some time with who he perceived to be the very best golfer in the world was going to give him a lot of benefits. So the conversation went on for a few moments. Then the king asked a question. He said, "What can I do for you?" And as you can well imagine, the golfer was taken back a little bit. He wasn't prepared for the king to ask him, "What can you do for me?" The golfer thought for a minute. He didn't want to say something foolish. So first of all, he told the king, he said, "Oh, king, it's been so wonderful you having me here. I really don't need you to do anything else." The king said, "No, my friend, it's very important to me because you have taken time out to come and be with me, to spend your time with me. It's important for me to want to give something back to you." So the golfer began to think, because now he was going to have to say something. And you can well imagine, my friend, if a king came up to you and said, "What can I do for you?" your mind would start spinning. What could I say? What would be appropriate? The golfer thought for a few more moments and he said, in his mind, "I have it." And he looked at the king and he said, "King, you get me a new club." The king said, "Absolutely, it will be taken care of." The party came to an end. The golfer went home as well as did the other people. The first few weeks, the golfer was so excited he could not imagine what the king was going to send him for a new club. Was it going to be gold-plated? Was it going to be a driver, a putter? What could it be? Week 1 went by, nothing came. Week 2 went by, nothing came. And so on and so on. And after about a month, the golfer said, he said, "That was nice of the king to offer, but he's a busy individual. I'm sure he was just being nice. He just Didn't think about it, and I'm not worried about it. I had a great time. I got to meet the king. I got to play golf with the king. It was really tremendous for me. The golfer did not think any more about it. And so a few more weeks went by. The golfer had not really thought about it anymore. All of a sudden, he opened his mailbox one day, and here was a large envelope. The envelope had big red letters on it that said confidential. It had a gold embossment on it. And the golfer suddenly remembered, oh, the king was going to send me a golf club. You could imagine how his mind began to wonder, what kind of coupon is it? Where was he going to send me to get the golf club? Everything. He hurried inside. He popped open the envelope. He sat down. He was so amazed because what he saw inside the envelope was not a coupon to go buy a golf club somewhere, but rather it was the title to a 700-acre golf club. Now, for those of you that know golf, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, but if you don't, let me share something with you. A golf club can either be an instrument that you use to play the game, different kind of clubs for different situations in the game, or the grounds on which you play is called the golf club. The golfer was taken back because from his perspective, he was thinking about receiving a new golf club, the instrument that he would play with. But yet from the king's perspective, the king thought that it was a whole golf club, 700 acres to be exact. Well, you see, my friend, Abba, your father, is your king, and he watches over you. And when you ask him for something, he's going to provide for you out of what he thinks, how he thinks. And you can imagine he is the one that built it all, made it all. He created the world and everything therein. He made you. He made me. His riches are abundant, more than we could even think about. And so when the king asks you, what can I do for you? And you ask of him, you can bet it's going to be awesome and amazing. So my friend, when the king asks you, what can he do for you? Or Abba, your father, however you want to say it, he should be your king. And he asks you, what can I do for you? Remember today, he's going to answer you from his perspective, which is mighty and awesome. So my friend, let us make sure when we ask the question, or when we answer the question as it may be, what can I do for you? Answer it from the perspective of the person that's giving the gift, and watch and see what happens. Thanks for listening today. I hope this has helped you, and make sure you check me out every week. Subscribe. Make sure that you are the first to get the stories as they come out.